But I don't think we really understand how far it's gone. And it's not just young people. Welcome to yet another episode of Said Nicely. You already know who it is. You already know what it is. You know what I mean? So tap in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and all that good shit. And check out the VLC store, man. We got merch, y'all. So tap into that. But listen, man, today I want to talk about honesty. Like, people claim they want honesty, right? But I've noticed in recent times that people don't really want honesty. Like, have you tried being honest with someone? Like, for example, right? You're trying to give somebody some criticism. Can you just come out and be honest about what you have to be honest about? Or do you find yourself having to use a bunch of freaking words just to tell them that, hey, man, this area can be improved? You dig what I'm saying? I mean, it's getting to the point. I know we talk about the helicopter parent culture, bubble wrap culture, right? How people are coddled, but I don't think we really understand how far it's gone. And it's not just young people. Right? Nowadays, you can't really be honest with people, particularly when it comes to something that might be deemed as negative, right? Or that might be seen as criticism. Have you tried to communicate to someone about something that they might could do better or whatever, and you find yourself kind of having to protect yourself against their defensiveness? Like, people are so quick to be defensive, so quick to be like, oh my God, you disrespected me. I'm gonna give you another quick example, right? Inferior, superior. We live in a world now where it's wrong to identify somebody in a superior position or an inferior position, right? If you're the boss or whatever, you don't have to pretend to be like a coworker so that people can feel more comfortable. What's wrong with the fact that you're the boss? You pay people's checks, right? But even as a boss, for those of us who have been, you recognize in today's culture, you have to tippy-toe and pity-pat around people who might be mediocre. When I mean pity-pat, you can't just be honest, right? Let alone emote and be honest at the same time. Because, oh my God, you're telling me something critically with tone. You're disrespecting me. No, I'm telling you the truth, right? People say they want the truth, but the truth is they don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth, right? And why don't? And it's one thing to want the truth, but let me tell you why. It's one thing to want the truth, but let me tell you why people don't want to be honest, right? Because have you ever tried being honest with people? I mean, the backlash is ridiculous, right? Because, oh my God, you have the temerity to be honest. So a lot of times people don't want to deal with the backlash that comes with telling the truth. So therefore they're like, might not say anything at all or might lie, right? I mean, most people probably won't say anything, right? But matter of fact, what's that saying? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say something at all. I'm sorry. Sometimes something needs to be said, right? But I feel like if we can't communicate, then how can we solve any problems for real? Like, it has gotten to the point where we can't even use certain words, right? I gotta use PDF instead of the other word, especially if I want to be monetized on platforms, right? I gotta say unalive instead of dead, for real. Like, to me, even something like that represents us trying to take the bite out of something that maybe the bite should not be taken out of. If someone died, they are dead, right? I get it's harsh for us, but in the real world, like, people deal with real world things all the time. So changing how we express it, right, or how we say it is what's gonna sting or take away the impact. Do we want to take away the impact? Certain words, like the R word, for example, are harsh. They represent something vile. And I think if you soften the word, it softens what that thing is. You got black people complaining all over America in regard to how they're changing the history and omitting things and changing things and whitewashing it, right? But then we all complicitly kind of go along with this idea of whitewashing language, whitewashing truth, or maybe it's not whitewashing, but you get the point that I'm trying to make, right? We have to be able to be honest with each other. And sometimes honesty is going to be uncomfortable. And you know what's sad? The worst part of all is that we've gotten so used to not being honest that we're not even honest with ourselves. We can't even admit the real shit within ourselves, right? So that therefore we can be a little bit more impervious to the rest of the world, right? Because, for example, if you don't know what's going on with you, then you're more susceptible to somebody being able, if you don't know what's going on with you, you're more likely to be susceptible to somebody playing on you and you're not even sure why you're doing what you're doing, right? Sometimes some people are addicted to drama. Sometimes some people are addicted to, violence and mess. Sometimes they are not healthy, but if you can't tell yourself that, then how are you supposed to get help? So it's no wonder that people aren't honest with each other, because most of us can't be honest with ourselves, especially when it's anything critical. And what's worse is that because we can't be honest, we usually tend to be a little bit more honest when we're emoting, right? When we're angry, when we're mad, we say things, right? But unfortunately, that's like the only time reserved for people to be able to truly, either that or when they're drinking. But the point is that I think it gets in the way of our ability to resolve conflict. I have to be able to tell you, like, yo, you got on my nerves. I have to be able to tell you that the actions that you did just didn't really resonate with me, or I'm not feeling you right now, right? I have to be able to say, hey, you didn't do this right. I need you to do it correct the next time, right? Because it's the 5th time I'm having to tell you these things, right? We can't get correction, we can't resolve conflict if we can't be honest with each other. Y'all, we got a lot of freaking problems, right? Between where we are in America today, both from politics to religion to relationships, right? And the reason why is because the basic things like communication, like honesty, like accountability, these things are missing. We're finding even more creative ways to say things, to change the definition of things, as opposed to dealing with the words that we actually have, having the strength to actually communicate them, the conviction, and then hopefully the grace and the empathy on the other side to hear what somebody is trying to say, right? Because hopefully you know that person means well, or they love you, or you have some type of relationship. I'm not talking about strangers or people who just want to be mean just for mean's sake. I'm talking about people who want to change something or engage with you or figure some things out. If we can't be honest with each other, then how can we fix the myriad of problems that we had? The truth is, we can't. And that is said nicely. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and all that good shit. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. And like I said, we got the merch, y'all. You know what I mean? Honestly speaking, it's just a fire. Okay, so tap in, and I'll see y'all next time. Until then, be easy. Peace.